Okay, End of Time blog, part 2. Let's try this again. I'm gonna cut this really short. Okay, all in all, episode was absolutely phenomenal. Blown out of the water. Writing was top notch, directing was top notch. Kudos to Euros Lynn, Julie Gardner, of course, the great Russell T Davies. That was the show would be possible. You always give us what we want in the end, and you definitely did. Didn't see it coming with the 4 knocks, but he couldn't have gone a better way. And I was wanting to see him go, but it was the right way. Kudos to Timothy Dalton, great stellar performance as Lord Rassilon. Nobody better to play Time Lord, absolutely perfect. Remember Timothy Dalton from his James Bond days, always been a fan, always will be. Kudos to John Sim, great portrayal of the Master. What can I say? I mean, he vindicated himself in the end when he finally realized everything the Time Lords had done to manipulate him throughout his entire life. And I think at the end he wasn't the Master anymore, he was just Koshi, the Doctor's friend, and he finally figured it out. Gave his life to save the Doctor. This makes you love him just a little bit more, even though he's completely insane. Or maybe not insane, just misunderstood. But great performance from him. All around, gotta give him kudos to the fact he must have had, I think I read David Tennant was saying he had to do like 47 costume changes in one day because he was made to look like everybody in the entire planet. You gotta be really just some kind of actor to pull that off. David Tennant, Bernard Cribbins, of course. Bernard Cribbins, I mean, the man can read a telephone book and be completely awesome and make you bawl your eyes out. Conversations he had between him, Wilf, and the Doctor was like, it really was like a father talking to his son. It didn't seem like it was scripted. It was completely natural. Like this could be David Tennant talking to his father, having a last conversation before going off to his final battle. It was so touching and so sad, so perfect. You know, when he's saying that I would be honored to have you as a son, and the Doctor's saying I'd be honored to have you as a father, and I'd be honored to be your son. Never thought I would see David Tennant, the Doctor with the gun. He didn't accept it at first, but when he realized the Time Lords were coming back, I think he felt he had no choice, because big revelation here. I'm going to just summarize this real quick. The Doctor did not take out Gallifrey and the Daleks during the Time War because he felt he had no other choice. He did it because he knew what their plan was. It was a deliberate attack because he knew that if he didn't, they were going to destroy the entire universe, the whole of time. They were going to end time so they were going to probably take the battle to the younger races, bringing everything else with them, and let everything be destroyed so they could ascend themselves into some higher state of consciousness, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it would end. It was worse than what the Daleks were planning with the reality bomb, because there were so many other hellish creatures that participated in the Time War besides just the Daleks, and the Doctor couldn't let them do that, so he deliberately took out both planets to stop it and sealed everything up in a time lock. So he knew that was the only way. Yes, for all of you US viewers who don't know this, the old woman that kept appearing to Wilf was the Doctor's mother. I mean, it was fairly obvious when she took her hands away and she was crying, and the Doctor saw her and just stopped, and it was frozen in its tracks. The way that he looked at her was such anguish, because he hadn't seen her in so long, and he missed her so deeply and so terribly. You could see how much anguish was on her face, because she knew what he would have to do. She knew this was his final battle, and she knew he was going to have to suffer through seeing his planet destroyed a second time, and his people destroyed a second time. All in all, great episode. The reward at the end. A lot of people have been blogging about this online, saying that they were unhappy with it. They thought it was kind of a cop-out, him doing it too quick and not giving them all enough time, not saying anything to them, but it really was necessary. There was another blogger who said, words really weren't necessary at that point, because all they had to do was look at his face, look into his eyes to know that would be the last time that they were going to see him ever, at least with those eyes. I mean, I know there's always the potential for Stephen Moffat to revisit these characters in later series, but I don't see it happening. I really do hope it doesn't, because I really hope it doesn't, because that was Ten's family, that was David's family, his friends, and that's the way it should stay. The 11th Doctor has the opportunity now to make new memories, new friends, new family, new people to care about. And it would, if you brought on the old companions like that, it would feel lacking, because they don't know him, and they can't know him. He's not their doctor, and it just wouldn't feel right. Besides, at this point, you could tell the doctor was trying to make a clean break, which is what he was doing, saying goodbye to all of his friends. You could tell by the look in their eyes. They all knew. Shout out of the dark there with Mickey and Martha being married, but it works. Lovely scenes with Donna's wedding. Gave her a lottery ticket. Now she'll never want for lack of anything for the rest of her life. She'll always be happy, and she'll be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And she'll have a fantastic life, which is all he ever wanted for her. Rose, of course, what can I say? A lot of people were complaining they wanted him to say something to her, something from the heart, tell her that he loved her. I was wanted to. But believe me, I won't lie. I was like, please, this is your last chance. Tell her. But I knew in my heart that he wasn't going to, because he could disrupt the fabric of time if he did, because that was a point in time in her life where she hadn't met him yet. And I could just screw everything up. But as that one blogger said online, it wasn't necessary. You didn't need words, because the audience knew. We've always known. And that's comfort enough, because we know that she's happy with her doctor in the alternate world. Which is enough. I think he just wanted to. It's kind of hard to explain, but I had an epiphany about it a couple days ago. And I'll explain that on my part 3. Bye-bye for now. Coming back in a minute.